Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're Jamesing with Games. Happy Sunday, folks. Oh my. I'm going to figure out the lighting situation somehow. Or the sun is going to start coming out so we don't have a sheer bright white blanket of sky facing us at all the time. Oh, hell yes. I love a good windy reference. The professional wrestling manager, booker, figure, Jim Cornette, one of the podcasts he does, he has two podcasts, and I think it's the Jim Cornette's Drive. It doesn't matter. One of the two, it is the Drive-Thru. I remember now because of the parody song. His theme song is to Wendy. So like, it's like, who still remembers Pampero Furbo, who booked the screw job in Montreal, and so on. Everyone knows it's corny. So anyway, excellent, Cedric. Well done. Who's getting Michael thrown in a dungeon, stealing the mail from Brother Ed? Who's triggering a nuclear meltdown? I know it's not pronounced that way, but you have to do it to make the scansion work. Everyone knows it's Wendy. All right, here we are. Unplanned 2-week hiatus is now over, although we're unfortunately possibly heading into a planned 1-week hiatus. I don't want to be a bad person or call down a monkey's paw situation, but I do hope it turns out that we're not taking another hiatus. But we're back now to play Maniac Mansion. And I was playing, I've done this once now. I'm using Danielle made me coffee, which means that she stuck me with one of her gimmick cups. Which is fine. Just dorky slogan coffee mug is not usually my style. That's fair. That's a fair point. Yeah, so Maniac Mansion, we did it once successfully with the trio of Dave, obviously, and Bernard and Razor. And I believe I really only made use of Bernard's abilities because Bernard happens to have a pathway. It took. I'm sorry, I froze up. Hello, PJ. Happy Sunday. Happy to have you here with us. Yes, I saw your thing, and then I had to think back and be like, "Yep, it does. It fits." Everyone loves a slinky. Okay. So the game is Maniac Mansion. Yeah, I did it once. While only really, I think I did use Razor. Like I discovered the Razor can record music and therefore make friends with the Green Tentacle and get his demo tape, but I didn't do anything with that. I assume you can get the Green Tentacle a record deal, and then he'll either help you get into the lab past the Purple Tentacle or get the meteor out of there. The two goals of the game, right? So now I'm trying it with Dave and Wendy, the novelist, and Michael, the photographer. And I'd put a little bit together about what to do with Wendy in advance. Fix up the manuscript written by the meteor, because there's a typewriter. She's a novelist. I'll launch the game while I'm saying all this stuff. And then now that it's publishable, mail the manuscript away, get the meteor a book deal. And having thus satisfied the meteor. Oh, wait, no. I had this on the mode that I wanted it on. Excellent. Having done the thing that I just said, that would solve the meteor part of the equation. So I had that. And also, we know there's a dark room and that there's a bottle of developing fluid. Ooh, did you see Razor just winked at me? Michael does shifty eyes. Bernard does like 80s nerd wink. His glasses falling apart. Yeah, I think it's literally going to be we're going to send him on a book tour. I think that's what's going to happen with the meteor in this playthrough. Meanwhile, yeah, I figured out how to get the developer, because the gimmick with the developer is whoever tries to get it off the top shelf drops it and it breaks, and then it leaks through a grate. But if you have the sponge, you can soak it up. And then we've put it into the pool, but I don't know what to develop yet. Meanwhile, I don't even remember what I did, but I did manage to make friends with Ed. I don't remember how. But we made friends with Ed, and then he was like, if you could find my plans, then we can get it done. And so the question becomes, what is going on? The 2-week hiatus thing is not great in terms of me remembering hell is going on. I've made Ed friendly. Okay, why not? I'll just go to the furthest along save game for a moment, and let's take account of what we have. Sponge does not have the developing fluid because Michael has put it in the thing, although we don't have anything to develop. We've got the stamps that would be required to mail the manuscript. Wendy has obviously... Hey, you know what? Let's turn this off. She's recorded the sound that was necessary to do this. Good. So does she have the cassette tape? Not yet. She has a glass jar. Fortunately, the glass jar doesn't break when you play the break glass sound. She's got the manuscript. Dave is in jail. He's got the cassette tape and the generic key that gets you into the home. Okay. So I know I messed around a little bit before the end last time, but I must have not saved any of it because I did the get captured by Edna gimmick to raid her room. And also, I think we have to do that at some point in order to get... We need to do that at some point in order to get the envelope that we will use to send away for send the manuscript away. So we've got a lot of the pieces in place. It would be very helpful if I could either remember which key it was and where I found the key that allowed us to just open this and have that problem solved, but I don't. Oh, Dave has the cassette tape, so we can't even do the recording yet. We need to get Dave out of here somehow. Oh, but the key that unlocks the door, I think, is the one in the chandelier that we can't break because we can't record the glass breaking sound. So I think we're in one of two situations here. We are either in a situation of a dead end. I got to restart. Or we're in the situation where there's another way out of the jail that isn't that key. And I don't know what that way is. I did mess around. I know the first time I had a kid captured here, I put some effort in. Here's where the secret lab is. Can we read this? No. Thank you, Cedric. It's never a spoiler to tell me that I am or am not dead-ended. If I dead-end myself, maybe, wait until I'm near the intended revelation. But otherwise, I strongly encourage people to not let me make a complete fool of myself and waste everybody's time. Or to quell the anxiety that I'm doing that. Okay. So when I first got captured, I did try to look around. We've tried, can the super strong person bend these bars now? No. I don't think I've found a way to be at these bars from the outside anyway. So I don't think there's an exit to because I think these windows, if we think about it, the spatial aspects of the home, I believe these windows must face the backyard that we either never see or that's where the pool is, but we don't see these windows from the outside. So I don't think there's a gimmick like that. I did poke around because Having as a child been very fond of, and I'm still pretty fond of it. It's a very flawed thing, but Nightshade, which is a NES game that has all the trappings of point and click adventure games, combined with light action and RPG elements. And like the action isn't perfectly executed, but it's okay. Like the different fights, like there's a different strategy to beat every enemy, even if the action gaming doesn't feel great. And like the point and click adventure puzzles are pretty fun. And it's got a cool tone. It's well written, stylish. It suffers because the user interface for the point and click aspects is agonizingly slow and clumsy and cumbersome to use. But it's overall very cool. And it has the gimmick of instead of lives, the first 3 times you get captured, you get put into, ooh, what's this? Let me finish my thought before I do the what's this on this little something here. The first 3 times you get captured by the supervillain because you lost all your health, he puts you in a generic supervillain death trap, and the game continues playing while it sets down on you, and there's a puzzle to solve for the first 3 to get you out. And then he wises up and he puts you in the death trap you can't escape from. Game over. You only have 3 continues, basically. So the first time I was here, I did try to find a way out from the inside, and I didn't have any success. But what if? Okay. What is here? What is this? Nothing. The barred window is interactable, although I can't imagine either the cassette tape or the key dissolving it. The skeleton's interactable, but I bet we can't pick it up. Wonder if I know him. That's a bleak thought. And yet, fair enough. I will point out, this is a gigantic skeleton, right? Look at how long its legs are, and then look at Dave's legs. Is the chandelier anything? It is. It's candle holder. Can we reach it to pull on it? Can't move it. Okay. So you definitely can't push it then, huh? No. Okay. Hey, Stimpinski. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Yeah, it's anachronistic for if one of his classmates in the 80s was killed by an old-timey 50s mad scientist. There's a door. Does the door have any distinguishing features? Is there something to the right? No. Yes. Is there like a loose bolt? Wait. No, that's the door. For a second, I was like, did I find something? Door. Could be like, I don't know. I'm now just pixel hunting. Is there a brick you can push? I mean, they did do the classic false book. So we're not necessarily dealing with a Roberta Williams, like, Ron Gilbert doesn't necessarily have a pre-rejection of certain obvious solutions. Nothing is ever under a rug in King's Quest. This game actually started with a key under the mat. I saw something flicker. Something flickered, right? Loose brick. Loose fucking brick. Can it really be this simple? Okay. Yes and no. It's a 2-person escape plan. You can always get back to having 2 free teens. Sweet. Grown-ups or youths? Stimpinski. Stimpinski has been introducing some local youths to, I think you're playing Dark Eye. but correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Okay. So, sweet. I had grown-ups and youths D&D recently because we're doing, thanks to the cost of gas, our friend Sid wants to cut down the number of times he drives all the way across our province to where we live. So we're doing alternating in-person and online sessions. And we did the online one early enough in the day that Rich's young son could join us. And it was grand. He had a great time. By pure coincidence and not even us like hand holding him, he just happened to, despite not making any major contributions, he did get the killing blow on all of the important enemies. So he felt like a superhero, which was great. And it was delightful. It was a great time. So yeah, what developed with the grown-up group? Wait, and where is Wendy right now? All right. We can't deal with this part until we get the thing from Dave, but we can get the thing from Dave now while also getting the envelope. Because to get the envelope, we just need to sacrifice one teen. I got all these dimes, which have thus far not proven helpful in any way. Like, I can use them for the telescope so I can move it more, but moving the telescope to every position did not do anything to reveal anything. I don't know what that means. We've also never got the arcade machines working yet, but I don't know why we would want to. It's a fascinating game. Even if I succeed today with an entirely new path to beating it, there will still be things that I just don't understand. And yet I am going to set it aside just to keep things moving, especially with these unplanned hiatuses. I get restless. I want to play a new game. They're aboard a ship. I love an evil dragon overlord that wants to become a god. I did a campaign once built around that. It fell apart before we got to do anything cool except have one time that the evil dragon god, aspiring god, showed up and like did like a statement display of power and then left. Although what it did achieve, what we did manage to achieve, what I managed to achieve in running that short-lived campaign was creating a pervasive sense that everybody's life was shaped by their fear of this dragon. Ooh. And so are they meeting with this dragon via subterfuge? Or are they like actually going to entertain the offer? Okay. So this is Ed's room. The next one is Edna's room. And so, oh yeah, if I did make Ed friendly before, hold on. Here's how I can know, and I should check. I'm going to update the save even though I haven't really done anything. Cool. It's a great plot construction, both in a serialized adventure story period, and I think even more for like a game RPG type structure, is to have to travel in some special way to some big thing. Because you just know you're going to get to the fireworks factory eventually. But also, like, we're stuck on this ship. We got to duel the captain. We got to whatever. Oh no, a kraken's attacking the ship. It's not even related to our destination, but we got to deal with this. Okay. I want to test the did I make friends with Ed within the save game. Because if I didn't, maybe I can look at my inventory. Intruder halt. Oh no. So what did I do? Package. I gave him the package, didn't I? Oh, my commando package. Well, now you have to find me my plans. I lost them somewhere. You see, The evil meteor has turned my father into a madman. I must break into the lab and save him. I need my commando package and plans, but I lost them. Come back when you have what I need. Hello, my cute little hamster. Okay. We've made Ed friendly. I don't know. I don't even have the first clue where his plans are. Maybe he wrote them on a wall somewhere. And I've already seen them. I just didn't recognize they were plans. I'm supposed to, can I get a camera, take a picture, develop it? I don't know. Just a classical evangelicizing religious take on the dragon god. There was none of that in my campaign with the aspiring dragon god because everybody knew. You knew. You either knew or you had been burnt to ash for failing to know. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get Wendy captured to get Michael in to nurse Edna's room. Nice Jehovah's Witness or Mormon proselytizers. I'll say this for Mormon proselytizers. And I mean, honestly, like, not, no category of person is, uniformly like something. But every interaction I've ever had with Mormon proselytizers, they're extraordinarily polite and kind and patient. When you're like, oh yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm like, are you sure? Because, you're like, yep. I'm like, okay, well, hey, have a great day. And like, it was nice to talk to you. Like, okay, cool. Have a nice day. You never get the sense that they're thinking in the back of their mind, well, you're going to hell. Even though perhaps you are. Okay. So the reason I'm going to sacrifice Wendy. Whoops. Reason I'm sacrificing Wendy and not Michael at this stage. What's happening here? Oh, geez. We've got events happening inside of events. The meteor wants to... My hamster. Nobody touches my hamster. Better watch it, Ed. You're going to piss off the meteor. I don't think that should be hyphenated. It already thinks you stole my purple card key. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't get to the meteor without it. I know that I had slightly differentiated these voices, but it's been 2 weeks that I don't remember. They're both weird nerds. Okay, my goodness. Get that, Michael. And then up the ladder quick before Edna returns. Okay. Then Michael can just chill in the dark for the moment, catch his breath, while we switch to Dave. Can't people change? Do we all have to be defined by the decade we spent torturing innocent people to death experimentally? We all have to figure ourselves out. I'm still discovering things about myself in my 40s. Give the cassette tape to Wendy. Dave's greatest ability, in general, we've established, is being a good dude so that he has a diverse group of friends who will all help him. What was that sound? Was that a different sound than the one I wanted to hear? Oh, is this a temporary deal? Or did I just... Is it not even what I hope it is? So he is trying to redeem himself. And then that gets tricky. You know, it's just like with Jowie in Suikoden 2. Like, man, you know, you did some terrible stuff. But I guess it's good if you're trying to be good. Sweet. Okay. We can pull off this escape. Hold on. Why did she go all the way to the stairs? But also, can you double click to run? I can't tell if I did. Okay. I get you. Well, I have the follow-up appointment coming this week. You can kind of see the line where it's 100% effective to not as effective, although also can't look as grumpy anymore, no matter how hard I furrow. So like, I'll see if they're like, I kind of was expecting more like a general smoothing, like not complete elimination of lines from here up and then not really much difference here. I don't know. I'll see what they think. And then I have 3 months basically to decide if this is worth doing it every 3 months until I die. But it's pretty good. Look even better when I figure out my lighting situation because harsh white is not my light. I already serve harsh white. So it's an overload. Okay. Wendy's got the cassette tape now. I'm going to update taking action as we go, just in case I mess something up. Okay. Is this the room I'm thinking of that has the piano? Yes, it is. Excellent. Use cassette tape in cassette recorder. Yeah, like it's a commitment. And like I'm a very fortunate person and I'm childless. So like it's not impossible to do, but it is like, you know, I have other interests than looking smooth. So I got 3 months to think about it. Also, I haven't been in full drag since I got it done. So like the real like I don't give a shit about having a ring, whatever. You know, I feel like I look kind of youthful anyway. But I guess the power is out. And we do have a weird power out to exactly this one spot problem. Okay, and then turn on the Victrola. Yeah, so my big thought was I should have done this in the opposite order, shouldn't I? Is it broken? I don't know. Still recording. Whoops. Okay, let's find. I guess I'll just find it. So yeah, I gotta find out because like half of the pictures taken of me in drag are just like the first thing you see is the brain forehead. So that's the real motivator, but I haven't tested it out because it's been a hectic month. But I mean, I certainly will soon because I gotta perform soon. And then we go in here. Ha! At least I remember some things about the layout of this mansion. Let's find out if I did use the cassette recorder properly, even though it was slightly out of order. Did we get enough of the sound? Yes. Oh, sweet. It's been a saga, this move. So congratulations. Here's a funny thing about my home. With the last couple of Earthbound streams, I had finally figured out a thing to do with the yellow armchair that is just otherwise just here in this room, and I never use it, even though I really like the yellow armchair. So I finally integrated it. And then when we had our friends over last night, Danielle was like, "Oh, we don't have enough seating. Do you mind bringing your yellow armchair down to the living room?" And I brought it down. And when we moved in, my argument had been, "Why don't we put my nice yellow armchair in the living room?" And now 4 years later, we tried it out, and she was like, "Great, I like it. Let's keep it here." So now I got to figure out a new gimmick for the Earthbound streams. C'est la vie. The old rusty key, which I think is the old rusty key the... it doesn't matter. We're putting this together bit by bit. Okay, so right now, Michael is up in the place. He'll have to get captured to get out of that place, but that's fine. I certainly do not have any papers around me. Yeah. I'm going to reacquire the code from the bathroom with whatever the ancestor's name is, who's a mummy now. That's up above in this home anyways. Okay. Where is it? Hold on. Is it one of these rooms? Obviously. Okay. This is the arcade. This is the medical room. Yeah. Okay. So it's the furthest right door on the top floor. To get that code again, I believe. No, this is the dark room. I'm not on the top floor. Still have no inkling of why we would ever want to gain access to the arcade machines, even though I think I know roughly how to fix them. Burp. Oh, wait, no, not here. But is it up here? Where the hell is the mummy? No, this is the telescope, which I'm also, I think, going to want to try something with. Is it the other room out here? Yeah, of course it is. The other family member has the other bedroom on the bedroom floor for the family. I've fixed this, right? Sure have. 3444. Even having the key is not enough to get into the lab. You don't know the code, and I believe that was the code that gets us into the lab. We have the sexy mummy poster, and then the regular human unwrapped sexy poster. Okay, let's see if we can put something together between... Like, there are some cool things. Like, I mean, it has a really deep above ground pool, mildly irradiated, severely irradiated, but like the half-life on that, you know, this is you got to think of this as a long-term investment. In like 5,000 years, it's going to be totally safe to swim in that pool again. I should ask Danielle, what would you look for comps for a house like this? Danielle works in real estate. Okay. Michael's in the dark, but it's going to be okay. We're going to find the light. There's the painting. Or wait, no, we're not going to find the light because this is the gag place. Does Michael have the flashlight? No. Who has the flashlight? I mean, it hardly matters now. Or am I just not looking hard enough for the switch? Who has the flashlight? Wendy has the flashlight and the old batteries, but the old batteries suck. Yeah, the glowing key, like if you hold it close enough, you should be like, it's not going to give you like. Cedric, that's actually a great idea. I've never played Power Wash Simulator, but I get the idea of the gimmick. And like, absolutely. Because like there are other things that I don't think this mansion would be good for repurpose. Like I don't think this would make a good for like a deathmatch like battle map for a first person shooter. It's too many enclosed spaces. I never did find like the existence of old batteries implies the existence of an item that is just called batteries that would keep the flashlight perpetually lit. Not that it matters. Well, Castle Daventry. I guess we could do the Castle Daventry of King's Quest 8. Right. Or yeah, 8. Because otherwise it's kind of just like a hallway that leads into a throne room. And then like some cutaways to bedrooms, but we don't really get a sense of the architecture. Okay. Back to Michael. What other items do I have? Because like obviously I'm still trying to work things out, so I should have it in my mind. I've never used the tools, but I do have a feeling that they're mainly used to repair those wires if I could ever get the flashlight working. Wait, but if that's the flashlight room where it's absolutely required. There's a switch here, right? There's got to be. No. There's the hatch back down. There's the painting. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I can do this. Oh man, if you're the agent showing this place and the person who shows up is like, so just so you know, I'm in a cult. You're like, oh, yes. Okay. Check it out. We have secret path. You can't even get into the basement unless you have a trusted friend who will hold this statue for you. And open the wall safe. The family has terrible information security because, as I recall, this is also the combo here. What is sealed envelope? I guess I keep updating this. We haven't done anything irrevocable. Okay. So, oh, I don't know what to do now. What else is in this room? Could there be anything else? Damn it. There's the light. Good. Okay. That's something. Well, I don't think I've ever done this before. Let's see. Anything else? Well, light. The window is nothing. The hatch is the way back down. Scrawled number. Okay. I'm certainly okay. It's too tiny to read. Could it be? Use the dime. So like that, this wasn't even a like it. I shouldn't count my chickens before the hatch. I'll be silent for a moment, but I have some thoughts. It's rotating, and like it can't possibly be this one that shows me the right thing, because there was the whole separate thing about the puzzle of how to get multiple dimes, steal them from Weird Ed. Ultimately, we're going to save his family and him from the evil meteor. So He'll be fine without the 50 cents. Ed will have been enriched for having known us. Okay. I remember seeing this before, but it was not that, right? I mean, I remember moving into this position, but it was not that. Oh, good. Wait, it doesn't matter. You can look in the telescope as many times as you want. 0120, a different number. Is there another thing? Right. We're not going to kill his hamster. He doesn't know that. You know, I could have brought one of my punk rocker friends. She could have microwaved your hamster, dude. But it is true that we did that for him as well. So, hey. All right. All right. Feel like that's the thing to do up here, and then we're done. Probably. I hadn't thought about the implications. Okay, I get it. The green tentacle is specifically the older tentacle, because the purple tentacle was once the baby of the family. Would you please stop with the menacing burping, man-eating plant? Okay. Feels like we're pretty close to closing a loop on the manuscript. Because now that I know how to get one kid out, even in the absence of having the right key.
Oh, an unwelcome visitor. I got you. Oh, how silly of me. I should have tied you to my bed.
Given that, you know, they obviously have meteor strength or something, so that none of the young people can overpower this family. Could we not just have you know what, Michael? You should at least walk over. Oh, never mind. Dave can't see you. All right. Push the brick, Dave. Wait. Hold on. Michael. Which small key is the one that he most recently got in? Is the small key the one that opens the inner doors? I could have just checked that without handing it to Dave. But since Dave is, you know, Dave is heroically can't unlock the door with this. Okay, it's not the small key. So it is the rusty key, probably. Well, hold on, Michael. Let's just confirm. No, the yellow key was like the garage or something, right? It's the old rusty key here. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Michael, get in position for your escape. Well, we have the designated stoner. We didn't bring him. The Spicoli character. Jeff, I think his name is. Not to be confused with our beloved Jeff in Earthbound, who's oops. It's not forgiving. I'm going to click the sentence down here so I'm closer. Oh, no. That's not how it works. Okay. Whew. We've passed the action challenge. So it does occur to me. Well,
Edna, I'm having trouble with the zombie Manic. I need to shut down the power. It'll be off for 5 or 6 minutes. Is that all you have to say to me? You've been in the basement for the past 5 years. Sometimes I think you like that meteor more than me. Don't worry, my little beauty queen. Soon, everything will be different. Sure.
It's going to be okay. We're going to save them. Wait, do I have to hide from Dr. Ed? Probably not. Hold on a second. Has there been a thing of fuck me? Well, I see it now. Okay. Let's put the manuscript on hold for a second. Because I actually might have just closed the loop on whatever this film is. We might be about to find out how Michael can contribute. What could it be? What could it be that is going to be helpful? There's a risk that whatever Michael's doing with this film and whatever Wendy's doing with the manuscript are actually alternate solutions to the same problem. And that I'm leaving one of the two problems. Get into the lab, get the meteor out of there. I'm leaving one of them incomplete. Who knows? Okay. Whoa. A not very big spider. So I'm not, I mean, I don't care. Whatever. You know what? Actually, I would care. At a certain height of spider, I'd be like, oh man, why does that have to be here? A very tiny little spider. But who has connected himself by a single thread to much higher. Just kind of rappelled down into my view. Good for him. Okay. How much mechanically do I need to understand about how to develop film? I hope it's just put the undeveloped film in the tray of developer and then wait. Okay, good. Michael knows and he will take care of this for me. I don't even need to tell him when to use the enlarger. Perfect. Okay. So that's just the tray of developer. So does he just prints? Okay. What are the prints? Photographs of Ed's plans. Okay. Okay. What does it mean, though? Sorry, Wendy. I know being the ghostwriter on this manuscript is exciting for you. It's your chance to, make some connections in the publishing industry. If nothing else. Ed's room is the second room. The power's going off soon, but hopefully it'll go off after. You have some nerve coming back here again. What do you mean? Are you an agent of the evil meteor? Or are you here to help me defeat him? Well, do I have your plans? Great! You developed my prints. Now we can overthrow the meteor. Meet me in the lab in 10 minutes. We'll storm it together. Okay. Okay. So, to get into the lab, I believe that I need the rusty key that Wendy is carrying. I hope that I'm right about that. I hope I'm remembering that part correctly. I have two numbers, so... I mean, I already had... Last time I only needed one number to get both of the things open, so who knows? But, okay. I don't know if Ed have we all earned? I should be saving while we have like a possible timer running. Should have made that called going commando, but okay. So if Michael is the ally, I guess then I should get Wendy to safety. And the fastest way for Michael actually to get to the basement is not for me to go and try to get him through that door during the brief window when Dave pushes the brick. It's just to go get captured by Edna again. I don't know if that like bottle of perfume, does that matter? I don't know. Who knows? Think about that stuff later. Well, if I'm not going to do a third run right now, then that makes me hesitant to do my normal thing when I finish an adventure game, finding out what I missed. Am I talking myself into? I don't know. Okay. Well, the old rusty key is not the right key. What key was it? So is the old rusty key the one that opens this door? The door that I no longer care about being able to open? Yes. Fuck. All right, Wendy. Where are you? Oh, the power went out while I was switching characters. Be nice to have those friggin' batteries, like the good ones. But okay, hold on. Where was Wendy? Can I not? Lovely plant. What room is this? Oh, here's the dark room. Okay. Maybe I can make my way. At worst case scenario, we have fun bumbling in the dark until the power comes back on. Which stairs have I just gone down? Oh, I know. Statue. Steel security door. And now the stairs are here. Now we're back in the lobby where Wendy can't get down to the basement. Does she have a key anyway that I haven't tried? She does not. What am I doing? I'm a fool. And it's not the small key? No. Did I ever find a use for this small key? Okay. I'm not sure whether it seems like there probably is some kind of timing related thing. So I ought not to trigger the commando phase until I've reminded myself how to gain access to the lab. So let's refocus on the manuscript for now. I'll send Michael outside, and then I'll try to get Wendy quickly outside, hopefully before the power shuts off, so that they can pass items around, and they'll be right next to the mailbox. But also, we won't be, trapped by the tedium. What friggin' key? I don't know. Which key opens? It was a single key, right? Is it the glowing key? Does Michael have the glowing key? And yeah, it's the glowing key, isn't it? I just didn't remember to try it. Well, now I'm on this other thing. We'll put a pin in the commando quest. it occurs to me, just thinking in like a practical puzzle, terms of like a practical puzzle where you're trying to just do a thing using the game engine, that there might be one thing I'm missing for the manuscript. Because we have stamps, but how do we, after tearing the envelope open, how do we reseal it? Is there glue in the filing cabinet or something? Maybe I'm overthinking it. Let's try. I got nothing. For a moment, I was so sure I would think of some funny thing to say. Okay. I'm going to have Michael. It's Wendy's manuscript. Let her see. Maybe I'm over. I'm not going to deny the possibility that I'm overthinking things. And therefore, I'll just try and see if maybe there's no, maybe the stamps somehow seal the envelope. What's in the envelope again? A quarter, right. Then you have a ripped envelope. The envelope's unusable. Okay. So there's two possibilities here. I should say three, because there is also just something I haven't thought of yet. But it seems, okay, either there's a way to repair. No, I don't think there's a way to repair the envelope. I feel like her calling it unusable and not just saying like, I need to find something to seal it with, suggests that this was a real irresponsible envelope ripping, which suggests to me either there's another envelope somewhere or there's a letter opener, or is there a pot of water on the stove or like a kettle? The kids don't want to use the stove by itself, I remember. I'm not picturing a kettle. But what if there is a kettle? And what if like they won't use it by itself? They'll just be like, I'd rather use the microwave because they're teenagers. But either way, we must wait. Although I suppose doing the waiting inside will be more bearable than doing it outside. And yet I switched to Michael, who's outside, because what does the radio do? Doesn't seem to work. Okay. Makes static. But if like I can't think of any reason why Bernard, who we would think if the radio's broken, is okay. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Great. I didn't spend too much time. I didn't spend any time except in my mind trying to contrive a way to like create a makeshift battery recharger for the old batteries. I don't know if I need this. I believe the batteries are the answer to how to get the arcade machines working, and I don't know why I need to get the arcade machines working. It's coming together. It's coming together. Wendy's still in the dark. Okay, now we'll just wait it out. The thing I am the worst at, we'll just be patient. Is the tick-tock of the grandfather clock coming through? I see where I have it in the mix. It like barely appears on the mixer bar. Not that I'm confident that you'd be lamenting not being able to hear it. I don't think I responded to you, Cedric, when you said the most recent thing you said, that Mike makes the best dungeon jockey because despite being the hero, he has no applicable skills. But I agree. You're absolutely right. I think I started saying a thing about how it's his good dudeness. Okay. Yeah, I've had it too low. Yeah. But what am I trying to say? Yeah, his good dudeness is beyond just his, obviously he brings this diverse group of 80s teens together when, the Breakfast Club has taught us that it was expected in the 80s that people would segregate into their cliques. But then also he'll stay in the dungeon and he'll just press the brick. I know you're working hard for Sandy, Michael. Go on without me. Presses the brick. Good dude, Dave. And that's why he has such a hot girlfriend. It's his karmic reward from the universe. That's not how relationships work. I don't believe that. I was just making a joke. I did test this and verify that it's just a real-time wait of 5 or 6 minutes. Right? I know that we got through it. I just can't remember if I actually triggered it by like going through doors a bunch. Having formed the thought, oh, really? What did you think? My major John Hughes take is that I think that the thing of his that holds up the best is actually his non-teen movie, his Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But I think The Breakfast Club probably holds up better than like 16 Candles. But the one with the really uncomfortable portrayal of the Vietnamese character. Okay. Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's well cast. There we go. Okay. There is no pot on the stove. Can I rather use the microwave? Okay. All the teenagers just want to use the mic. Can you microwave a letter to like melt the glue? Is the microwave there for more than one reason, or is it just there for the dark joke about the hamster? Give manuscript to microwave? No. But it is an object. So hold on. Can I use the manuscript in the microwave? I'd better not. Okay. It's one of those things that, yeah, you've osmosed a lot of it. It's even if you're seeing it for the first time, it's tough to go in blind. Okay. I guess I should have tried. I'll try right now because I can just load the save. Wait, she doesn't. It's not the manuscript I wanted to microwave. It's the letter. It's the envelope. Not that I'm not confident in microwave the envelope as a solution, but like I want to try it. Got to try things. You can't say like more than 0% plausible idea out loud. Never test it and go off trying other things. What is the roast? Like, I know obviously there are red herrings in this game. Oh, right. Might as well while I'm transferring things. I'm not even sure if Wendy, not because Wendy's a girl. I'm not sure Wendy can use the tools because I'm not sure anyone but Bernard would be able to use them, but I'm not even it could be just everyone can. And then Bernard specifically fixes electronics, not electric stuff. All the teens can fix electrical, like wiring and stuff. You need a nerd to know how to install a new thing in the cylinder in the radio. Okay. Let's see. She's got all this stuff now. She does. Because it could also just be that the fucking filing cabinet has envelopes in it, right? Just like how there's 2 records, there's 2 sets of batteries. You could have sealed envelope and brand new envelope. Well, there is no harm in trying. And if this doesn't work, maybe I just need to wander around a bit. But also I could, now that I think I have the glowing key situation figured out, maybe we can go Commando like that. And see what happens in that path. Can I use the sealed envelope in the microwave? Okay. Can it be also simple? Turn on the microwave.
I guess the power's out.
We've already seen this cutscene, but I guess Dr. Fred keeps on checking and the game keeps on reminding us. And I might have everything that it takes to make the arcade machines work, and I have a quarter if I get it out of the sealed envelope without damaging it. Oh no, wait. Am I just going to cause a fire because there's a quarter in the sealed envelope? Or I don't know. The fact that I could put it in there, but that she wouldn't put the manuscript in there is encouraging. I need some liquid in here. Okay. Oh. Is that... You're not supposed to microwave water, right? Hold on. Is that true? Am I misremembering microwave safety? Microwaving what? Okay. It turns out that as long as, yes, according to actual results, but also the AI overview, because you see it, but I never trust it, even when it's linking sources. Apparently, it's fine. There is a risk of superheating the water. But as long as you're not like, recklessly over microwaving. Okay. So then this might, okay. You gotta love when the error messages are actually informative. It feels like kind of feels like a lot of things are coming together. Is that a purely bad thing to do in that game, or can you create like weapons against the zombies by like starting a microwave up and luring them in and then running and it blows up? Okay. Could this be literally just a do the practical thing? Yep. Oh my. The world is our oyster right now. It's all coming together. I should have known immediately. Just that once you can place one item, but the placement of it clearly splits the microwave into 2 item slots. Otherwise, you'd center it. You'd put the yellow envelope right there. Okay. Okay. Now, do I have to monitor it and turn it off at the right time to prevent superheating? We'll find it. Waiting. Oh, she set it wisely. She used the timer. Is this now an open envelope? It's just an envelope. So I assume now I still just use the open command on it. You know what? I'll just do that. I feel fairly confident. There was a quarter inside the envelope, and it stayed envelope. There could still be a needing to find glue, though. The game could be kind and say, like, you know, Wendy, put the stamps over the lip of the envelope. Or it could be like, I don't have a way to seal the envelope. They stick. Memoir in stamped, and we can infer that that's envelope. Okay. Okay. Right now, it's kind of seeming. I'm still not even sure how the arcade might come into it, but on the how do we use Michael, which turned out to merge with the how do we get Ed on our team, on that track, and the how do we do the welcome, we'll see you later, happy Sunday, how do we do the manuscript thing, it kind of seems like it's all coming together in a, like there was no moon logic involved with either, which is great. It's not, although you could easily envision a beat 'em up, beat 'em up spin off in the Maniac Mansion universe, right? Because we have a bunch of teenagers to choose from. You unlock the Green Tentacle. Actually, no, we just make the Green Tentacle one of the 4 selectable characters, or one of the selectable characters at the start. They can't all just be interchangeable teens. Okay. The envelope is stamped. I know where the mail is. Right here. We've recently, we'll see you later, been playing, we've been checking in on the various classic beat 'em up series as they thrived or didn't in the 21st century. And we just finished playing Rushing Beat X, The Return of the Brawl Brothers, which just came out. Cedric, together we have to combine to remember to tell Greg about the beat 'em off spoonerism. Malapropism. Good chainmail joke, Stimpinski, by the way. Okay. Let's try this. This seems like it should all just be this now. Not in the flag, just in the mailbox. No address on it. Okay. All right. Before I start scouring the house for a pen, I'm going back to the typewriter to see if I can just type the address on it. I believe that no, I should not believe that Wendy. No, I do believe that Wendy knows the address because I can't think of a way. I know that I looked at it in this playthrough, and I can't think of a way in which I would type the address unless they're going to literally give me a typewriter interface. And I don't think they will. I originally heard of this game from a How to Win at Nintendo Games book that I got at Scholastic Book Fair that also, described the game in detail. Although I didn't retain anything. So there hasn't been a single instance of me remembering something I read in that How to Win at Nintendo Games book and then putting it to work. This is where the typewriter was, right? It's funny because a lot of the Sierra adventure games that I've played in the last couple of years, this is my first foray into LucasArts. I've often, even for the ones I hadn't played, but just I'd culturally osmosed like the more obnoxious puzzle solutions, which really smoothed my experience, especially with King's Quest. To just be like, oh, I remember all the stupid dead ends you can get into in King's Quest V. I remember hearing about them. I remember hearing about this Rumpelstiltskin puzzle in the first game. Absolutely nothing here. I guess I remembered the general technique that you could sacrifice a kid in order to raid their bedrooms, but I'm not sure if I got that. Me too, PJ. If they did them I work at a school. If they did probably they do not like Scholastic book fairs, but there got to be occasionally like book fair type events at the school that I work at the large university. What was I doing? Typewriter room, which is downstairs. But yeah, for originally all the How to Win at Nintendo Games books, which I never relied on for strategies of games I knew. I was buying them to read about the games that didn't exist in my universe because they weren't at the rental stores and none of my friends owned them. This is not where the typewriter is. Next floor. Not the next floor. 2 floors up, at least, right? Yeah, we'll be there. We'll figure it out. And then in like the 5th or 6th grade, a friend of mine, who's really like a friend of a friend, like one of my best friends, was also good friends with him before we met because they lived next to each other, even though he went to French immersion school, so we never went to school together. So I only knew him from going to hang out at Elliot's. Then other James would be there, and although everyone called me Jamie at the time when I was a kid. And anyway, James gave me his whole backlog collection of Nintendo Powers. And so right near the end of at the end of the NES era, when like there were maybe 2 releases yet to happen in North America, I got access to this treasure trove of like, oh, never heard of this game. And it just filled my brain with all these things that even years later, like this is my first experience with Maniac Mansion. It took me a while to get to it. Where the fuck is the typewriter? Not in the arcade. It's not in the dark room. I think it must be in the same room as the giant man-eating plant. I think. This might not even be the way to type the address on the envelope. In fact, now that I've said that, if you have to type the address onto the envelope, wouldn't that short circuit the idea of mailing in the demo tape if you didn't have Wendy? Or is it that everyone can use the typewriter? You know what's absolutely wild to me, PJ? I think we'll see you later that I'm at a point now where I'm confident I'm going to get through this without soft locking. But as you'll just, if you show up to more of my adventure game streams, you'll see that I do a lot of gentle pleading for the audience to tell me, to reassure me that maybe not dead-ended myself. Maybe everyone can type in the typewriter and type an address, but not everyone. So that worked. But maybe everyone can do that. And Wendy's power isn't she knows how to use a typewriter. It's she knows how to fix the manuscript. She's an aspiring writer. That would make more sense. Okay. Really, the only big leap that I had to make here was to figure out the way to free a team from the dungeon so that I could bring all the items together at this point in the playthrough. Because everything else along the way, it's been the style of puzzle that I love in an adventure game. Not that I object to, fairy tale logic as long as there's some logic. As long as the wacky milieu that I'm in itself can give me a hint towards a weird puzzle solution, I'm okay with it. But I do love just use the game interface to do this thing that you could also, you could do this in life. You could do this in your regular life. If you need to open an envelope without being suspicious, apparently, I never thought about this, but I guess you can just put it in the microwave with a jar of water. Keep an eye on it. Make sure it doesn't superheat. Okay. It's in. Looks like we can't close the mailbox, but I should try nonetheless. No, not the envelope. Okay, we can close it. Hopefully that didn't squish up the manuscript in a way that gets it rejected. And then use flag. I had noticed the flag was an object, so I knew it must be a thing that you had to flip up like that. Then my inclination is to say that I should do a different thing for a moment. What is the different thing that I was thinking I should do? Shadowgate is a game that I've only even played moments of on an emulator, but it was a game that I was intrigued of in my mind because I learned about it, How to Win at Nintendo Games book or in those Nintendo Powers. Maybe I should check that little family of adventure games. Deja Vu, which is a detective one, and I think the first of the three. And then The Uninvited, which is a horror one. And then Shadowgate, which is like dark fantasy. I mean, right now I'm ready for this LucasArts sojourn, and I'm ready for if I remember correctly, we'll see you later. You're in like Toronto, right? Tirana is how we say it here. Well, not really. Maybe those of us who live in Cape Breton. I got nothing. That's like, I don't want to try it right now because it's my mother's whole family. So if I do it inauthentically, I can usually do Cape Breton. But like, I have to do it properly to do it. I can't just cartoon do it like I do with most of my accent work. What am I doing? Yeah. But yeah, definitely like, you get sent on a business trip or something out here to the East Coast. Just keep your Wednesday evening free. And we'll get you on Greg and James Beat 'em Up. We played Rushing Beat X, Return of Brawl Brothers. Wow, what a strange there are some things like I became aware eventually. Like I probably still do it, but there was a point where I realized while talking to people, especially when I went to grad school, and I realized, oh, I'm like trash. Like I read as trash to the other academics. And one of the things was saying coffee, like as though coffee was spelled CAWFEE. All right, Wendy's in the dark. I'm going to take a brief intermission. I got to run to the washroom. And then we'll see if while we wait for the mailman, we can girls fix electrical wiring? not girls, can non-nerds fix electrical wiring? Because if Wendy can't do it, I'm sure Michael can't do it. We know Dave can't do a goddamn thing. I'll be right back, gang. Hang tight. And we're back at it. Crows are smart little birds. Our friends, Lauren and Matt, who like Danielle's best friend Lauren, who live just down the way from us. But they have an apartment. Their apartment building has like a cool inner quad sort of area where balconies are. It's not quite a quad. I don't think it's surrounded on all four sides, but like it's around back. Anyway, the whole point of this is that they have more of like a little shaded area with a lot of trees that is like really part of the property. And as a result, they have a cacophony of crows. There's a whole murder of crows that hangs out there. So it's loud as hell because, you know, crows are awesome. But like part of what makes crows so awesome is that they're so self-consciously obnoxious. And so I was telling them, I think they wound up installing one of those things that like makes a tone they don't like to kind of get a little bit of peace for the people. But I was telling them like, as long as you're stuck with this set of crows, you should start like feeding them and stuff, because once they identify you as a friend, they will like bring you shiny objects and stuff. And like, you know, right down in the downtown city, the city, like who knows? Maybe someone will drop like some valuables. Okay. We need to turn the power off in here. But first, let's put the batteries in the flashlight. And then misfix it. Who knows? Like maybe Wendy has written a short story where a character had, you know, she had to do a little bit of research. How would they repair the wiring? Has anything happened with the mail? The mail has been picked up. Has something been returned? No, not yet. Nice. Quite the opposite on campus. The crows are just like really aggressive. And they specifically don't like my buddy, who is our program coordinator. And so they do it to everybody, but they especially do it to him. They like to make like they do passes where like you look up and you're like, oh shit, this crow's, and then they, pull back at the last moment. A documented behavior that crows do for fun is two crows will, if they find a dog in the backyard, they'll get in two trees, and then one of the crows will go down, so the dog comes running at it, and then it'll go back up, and the other one will go down, make the dog go back and forth, barking at them. Just nature's smug little jerks. They're great. Oh, damn it. So to turn off the power, yeah, that's a real shame. Hopefully it motivates you to, hopefully you wind up having a cleaner overall car because you're more responsible with washing it. Although I could also see how you would just be like, ah, fuck it. It's a bird shit car. Like, I'm going to wash this less than I would wash a normal car. I think those are both perfectly rational responses to the situation. Okay. I think because we turn off the power in the basement, but that means that we got to go get captured if I don't want to bring Wendy back. So we have two teens. That's fine. And I gave the glowing key to Michael so I can check it while I'm there. My brain just fixed it for me. I'm only noticing just now that you said bird or do. I would have asked if that was like Toronto slang. We call them birders out here. Be like, oh, didn't know that. All right, she captures him. Even though it's the third time capturing this young man, she still doesn't remember to tie him to the bed and whatever, which is great. Good for Michael. Oh, a manuscript. Well, let's see. Wow, this is hot stuff. We'll sell millions, maybe even billions. I'm going to make Mr. Meteor a $1 million offer. Fuck yes. Crows, baby. Corvids in general, but obviously. Ravens are cool, but my understanding is actually quite frightening because they're much bigger than even crows are when you see them in real life. It's the glowing key, right? Yes. Okay. It's all coming together. When it comes time to do the commando thing, we do know the things, right? I have two numbers this time. 3444 already opened. Wait. Open the outer door. Yeah. Use the inner door lock. So let's try 3444. No, that just works. So what's 0120? Do they both work? I guess I can't find out now without undoing my efforts here. I'm inclined to say you must still get a cutaway. He just thinks it's trash and he throws it out. And that kind of gives you the hint of like, oh, if you actually had made this better, in case you hadn't put that together on your own. Okay, we're ready for that when the time comes, but I was on a detour. Let's get back to the detour where Dave will take a quick step aside so we can see the loose brick. Boom. Michael's out. Update the miss fix it save because this might be tight. I think actually no, I discovered that eventually he's fascinated by the stone. It's like the opposite. He's like the inverted version of the people in the case of the Amagara fault. Instead of staring at an input, a hole in the wall, he's staring at the brick and he's just like, this brick, He's just like stroking it and petting it. He doesn't even know that he's letting his friends out of the basement. The stone is so rough and sandy. Makes me think of Sandy. Sure hope my friends hurry up and save the day so I can be reunited with my lover. Here we go. Power off. Wendy. Turn on the flashlight, Wendy. She can see. And now we find it. Can anybody? Because I feel like the only two possibilities are only Bernard or everybody. She says there, that should do it. I'm inclined to say the new batteries might just be infinite, just in case, and just in case I want to use them again later. And power back on. Not the box. Click on the circuit breakers. Don't just walk to them. Turn them on. Boom. And yeah, we don't trigger. There's only a risk of a meltdown the first time you turn off the power. So we don't even have the Purple Tentacle coming after us. Good. Good. Can we get in via the, you know what? It's not time yet anyways. Regardless of what we're doing. Okay. So Michael, well, I can start moving him into position because his next step, I guess, is to give the plans. The thing. But, you know, Wendy's the one who salvaged this manuscript. So she's the one who gets to go out. Wait. She's the one who gets to go out and hopefully receive the contract offer. Okay, so I'm inclined to say that Wendy is obviously, like, Wendy's definitely the meteor solution. So then I just got to hope that Weird Ed is actually the tentacle solution. You know, that Ed is how we get in. Since obviously, like, if Ed also gets in and like blows up the meteor, then we're never going to get to give it the manuscript. But then does that solve or not solve the Purple Tentacle problem? Does Wendy has the quarter, right? We got to look into this arcade. What the hell is the arcade about? I think I discovered Wendy doesn't have the small key with her. I think we found out the small key opened one of these. Maybe I'm just imagining that. Meteor mess. Like, what matters here? It's already turned on. Okay, so it is working now. That part of the theory was correct. Use the quarter and coin box. Yep. Game turns on. Do I get to play a mini game? Or even see it? Or have any experiences? Yes. Okay. Wee. Okay. And that's it. Didn't have a chance to write those down. Don't know why they would matter. For now, I'm just going to try one other of these machines. This one seems the most likely if it's using a specific one. It's meteor mess. But the meteor, presumably, like if it's emitted any slime at any point, it was definitely alien slime. Pretty boring. Okay. The meteor one was the correct one because it showed me the high scores, which matter for some reason. I know it's wee, like initials wise, so I'll write that down. Let's see if I can get them all with one more look. I can't think of anywhere where a cardinal directions puzzle could come into play, but it does occur to me that the initials for all the high scores only use W's, N's, and E's, which refer to 3 of the 4 cardinal directions. I don't know. Oh, 3,300. 1594 0032. Don't even have the first clue why that might matter. I suppose. No. I'm inclined to say that she finds all the other games boring. I'll look into this later, anyways, if it turns out I care. Because I can't think of a role that's going to play. The arcade. I still can't think of at all what role the arcade game might play. Is Dr. Fred distracted now? It doesn't matter. When you get into his lab, he just gives up. Let's see if we have the contract now. No luck yet. But we know that's just a matter of time. So Wendy could just stand out here like a fool. For now. Wait. Except that, even though it's frustrating, I should load back in case it does turn out that I want. No, it's fine. I got everything I could possibly get out of the machine, probably. Because my quarter's gone now. Unless one of the keys I have opens the coin boxes, I can have infinite quarters. Does Michael have the small key? He gave it to friggin' Dave. Should have got it back. Oh well. Muse. Hey, buddy. Among the many things that have been many reasons. Oh. Okay, so now we can play. The fact that now he can play makes it totally and completely clear to me that I shouldn't waste the quarter yet. I should wait until I've seen him playing, because maybe he's about to get a new high score and foolishly enter an important 4-digit code. And so I'm just going to test one more machine with the quarter. If I get that this is boring, I will assume that all of them except for Meteor Mess are just boring. Yes. Okay. Okay. And so Wendy can head out front to wait. Wait a little bit longer now, unfortunately, but we'll live. Actually, she should stay here. No, actually, it's still faster for Michael to just get captured to get back to the dungeon. Okay. Wendy on tenterhooks will stand by the mailbox. Michael will go. He's developed the plans, right? Yes, got the prints. I don't think Dr. Fred has travel time or like a travel route like the others do. So I don't think we have to worry about getting caught when he's going to the arcade. I will point out, Edna complains he's been in the lab for 5 years, but he very clearly comes up frequently for regular life stuff. Maybe she's a little a bit too absorbed in her own what have you. Okay. Almost went to Edna first, which would have been bad. Excuse me one moment. Ooh, intriguing. A friend sent me just an attachment. I don't know what it could be. I'm going to look because I'm excited. But I'm not going to look right now. I'm going to save it for myself. You have some nerve coming back here again? Some nerve? How about I have some plans, Ed?
Great. You developed my prints. Now we can overthrow the meteor. Meet me in the lab in 10 minutes. We'll storm it together.
It's possible that I'm going to wind up having to, if it turns out that Ed is the get in. Oh, sweet. Or alternately, it's all just coming together right now. Because surely the bell ringing is because we have mail. Yes. It's just a contract. They didn't even, they're so eager to close this deal. They did not even put it in a thing. Okay. First, I just want to know what's different if I go back to the arcade machine. Is it different at all? Or is that just the clue that this is the arcade machine that matters? Oh, wrong room. We're about to find it. Yes. DFE 5858. Dr. Fred something. 5858. How many more 4-digit codes? I can't even remember what it was that I said, but I'm not. Not yet. Because it feels like this is all clicking. It feels like this is like we're making it happen. Okay. Everybody needs to get down there for the plan. So let's get captured one at a time by Nurse Edna. If both parts of the plan are necessary, then I'm not just giving Michael the contract. But I'm not just, Michael developed the plans. He deserves to be involved too. Fortunately, Nurse Edna hates all young people. Can we get it done in one go? Because she'll catch Michael on the stairs? Let's find it. What other things have even asked me for a 4-digit code? Or is every 4-digit code that you get also, do they all just turn out to open this? Is Michael going to get caught? Perhaps not. Oh, well. Yeah, she's too focused when she's on the stairs. Vague threats of sexualized violence. It's the 80s, though, so it's purely meant to be funny and not to actually make you uncomfortable. Okay. So it could be timing based, or it could be just when Michael goes in, Ed will also show up. Let's find it. First, we'll just try. Initiate the scene.
What are you doing here? Aha! I caught you sneaking around our house. Dr. Fred isn't paying me for nothing. To the dungeon, intruder.
Okay.
All right, slime ball. The game's up. Oh no. Come here. You'll never get me. I'm getting out of here. I'll take care of Suckerface. You get the meteor.
Okay. Can I leave again, though? Yes, because Wendy is the one who's going to get the meteor. I think we've done it all. Let's find it.
Purple Tentacle! Invaders!
Uh-oh, he's not coming.
Purple Tentacle! So, you've gotten past all my safeguards. There's only one thing left to do. I'm arming the self-destruct mechanism. Only I know the secret code to stop it.
Oh, so there's the other 4-digit number, isn't it? Doesn't seem to work. No, never mind. Is there anything other than... Is there more than one object here? There are buttons. But I can't use them to enter 5858. You know what? I did this a different way and figured it out. So let me just do that. Oh no, the purple key card. We never acquired the purple key card, did we? Okay. We have to go back. Or do we have the key card? Hold on. No, we don't. Hold on. So we go all the way back this far. No, you know what? Let me try to have it all come together from here. Just because it would be great if it worked. I can't say the game didn't remind me. In this very session, I was reminded. You need the purple key card. It's okay. Just one last little hiccup. I'll send Michael, since he's already friends with Ed. I would say yes. Here's the thing. I don't like the way they did progression, at least in the story mode, because it breaks with a lot of modern beat 'em ups because it doesn't have you have 15 seconds to revive or like 10 seconds or 5 seconds to revive your downed ally before they're gone. It's just for run at health, you're gone. But you just continue instantly from the spot that you went down with no penalty. Oddly enough, if you manage to both get knocked out close enough to each other that the person who got knocked out first didn't continue in time, then you lose and have to go back to the start of the stage. But there's no like regularized method by which, at least in story mode, you would be likely to have multiple players lose, which is kind of a drag. The fighting was really interesting, and it had more exposition, I think, in it than all 150 whatever beat 'em ups we've played to date put together. It was crazy. So much text. They were really invested. And like, it's not ironic. It's not like Battletoads 2020. Yeah. And like infinite lives with absolutely no friction. Like you don't lose your items. It doesn't disrupt your ranking for the stage as far as I can tell. It was still fun enough that I found it diverting. And there is a free play mode that I assume is a little less forgiving, but I'm not sure. The fighting's pretty cool. It's fun. The characters all kind of stand out. They're distinct. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure. I think maybe in free play mode, there might be more limitations. Or maybe, in fact, you can go... Maybe that's what makes hard mode hard, if there is a hard mode. That they impose those kind of restrictions as opposed to just making the enemies hit harder. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, the fighting was fun. And there's something about the sincerity of the script that really made me a lot more tolerant of the fact that there was way too much script. Where like it definitely had more exposition and more character dialogue than like Battletoads 2020. But the relentless irony in the tone of Battletoads 2020 is kind of exhausting to me. Hello. Getting ready for the big raid? Yes, I am, but it's just underneath the hamster, isn't it? Can I just pick up his hamster? What are you doing? Or is he just going to kill me? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Nope. Okay. It's okay. I think. Do we lose him as an ally? British. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Okay. Because I think we need both of them to pull this off. So let's try. Oh, no. Is this before I even sent the manuscript? No. We're still waiting for the manuscript, but it's not as bad as it could be. I'll sacrifice Wendy. We'll find it. If Ed, does he immediately get won over to all the teenagers or just to the specific one who actually, is it only Michael? Or whoever gives him the prince, I guess. We're so close I can taste it. I just hope I don't have to go even further back. Or maybe we can just win him back over by showing him the prince again and reminding him. Either way, we'll find it. Okay, no. He likes us all. Come see me when you have the plans. Oh, we hadn't initiated yet, which is fine. Okay. Yeah, I know. He takes her away, but is that enough time for Michael to get in? Pick up the hamster. Pick up the key card. Use hamster in. Give hamster to cage. This is a qualified victory indeed. If I can't let go of the hamster, am I just screwed here? Give him his hamster. That is absolutely true. And now, okay, we've saved everything. We're ready. We're ready to execute. Check it out, Ed. We've got the plans. And Wendy's already there, but she doesn't have the contract. But we heard it's arrived. At least one of you was like, oh no, he's going to get into the dungeon without the contract. But no, I saved it. Feels like the moment is at hand. Obviously, Michael will hand the contract off to Wendy because, again, this is her glory. I don't think I need... This could be famous last words. But I don't think I need that information, which is good because Wendy's got the quarter. We're all screwed. I can get around it if I need to. I'll update this. It's all happening at once. Yeah, it's a... Well, you got to figure they did a lot of the renovations. But yeah, those are certainly going to drive up the resale value of the house. Where you have real security doors with codes, you have secret passages, you have giant in-ground pool. Although we were discussing earlier, the in-ground pool is kind of unusable for 5,000 year half-life of the radioactive isotopes. Yeah, if Dr. Fred and all, if they all decide to sell, You want some return on the investment you put into this home. That is going to drive up the asking price. Oh, Nurse Edna, you're playing right into my plans. Ha ha ha. Okay. Give the contract to Wendy. That's her due. Give the card key to Wendy because she'll need it to execute the plan. Yeah, I'd live in this house. I'll probably do some of the dungeon aspects. And you gotta get you really shouldn't even be showing this thing until you've taken the bones out. Who is that? Who is this giant person who was kidnapped by Dr. Fred's family and horribly killed, as far as we can tell? All right, here we go. I think we can execute now. The Purple Tentacle captures Michael. Or does it? Boom! Like a streak of light. He arrives just in time. Probably have really good acoustics down here. And lighting. If you like harsh white lighting. I used to have dreams all the time as a kid about my maternal grandmother's home in Cape Breton, having secret passages and stuff in it. I guess because it was one of the more unusually laid out homes I was aware of, just because I grew up in the kind of suburb where eventually you realize all my friends, like all our homes, have the same layout. They're all just the same split entry layout. All right, hang tight, Sandy. If I had a talk option, I'd reassure you. Oh, no. Michael, you were not supposed to come in here. Can I send Michael out when I've done this, though? No. I got distracted and I messed up. It's okay. Got over my skis. Oot over my skis. Hold on. I can hear I'm being called. Hang tight, gang. I'll be right back with you. And we're back at it. Oh, and because of the time it happened, we just didn't have to wait for a cutscene that we've already seen to play out again. All right. Michael tags out. Wendy has the card key, has the contract. Now, it shall all come together. Not 100% sure the hazmat suit is even important, but we're going to use it nonetheless. Oh yeah, I would bet that like in like especially in like the New England area. I never thought about that. Or well, I guess all the way down to the south. I remember one of the books we had to read in elementary school was like a novel set in the Underground Railroad. And so of course as it centers the like young white girl who learns about how slavery is bad and gets, you know, how the I think the relatives she has to go live with are involved in the Underground Railroad. Ah, I wondered before, what's the point of the hazmat suit? But if the meteor's still there,
Oh, what happened? I feel much better now. I'm free of this machine's control, but wait. The self-destruct sequence was initiated. I'll try to turn it off. I can't disable it. The meteor must have control of the entire system. Hey, kid, you gotta help me. We have to get rid of that meteor once and for all.
we didn't get this part of the scene because the previous time I came through, I'd already solved this problem. Problem with the meteor. You can't kill me, and why would you want to kill me? Give contract to meteor.
Wow, a lucrative publishing contract. I'm going to be famous. I don't have to be evil anymore. Dr. Fred, release the women, all the women. We're going to be rich.
And the book tour, we actually get it. Welcome back from our break. We've been talking with the celebrity, Rock, who gave up a life of crime for a career as a writer. So, Mr. Meteor, how does it feel to be famous instead of infamous?
Well, Wink, it feels great, but I couldn't have done it alone.
Dave and Sandy get to go on the book tour, but not Wendy? Offensive. The popular kids instead of the mosey novelist girl who did all the actual work. Okay. Okay. So because I'm going to one day in my life, not sure if it'll be on the stream, definitely want to go back through with the one combination I haven't used, Syd the New Waver and Jeff the Stoner. And from what I understand, Jeff the Stoner is also useless. And figure out how with just Syd could I, like, what's the solution? I feel very confident that the Green Tentacle and his music career is the answer to how to get past the Purple Tentacle with musicians. But then what will we do? There must be a third meteor solution beyond have it arrested by the meteor police, which you need Bernard for, and get it a book contract, which you need Wendy for. I don't know though. Does the Green Tentacle just do it all for you? That seems unlikely. I'll have to find these things out, but I want to find them out for myself, but I don't necessarily want to play Maniac Mansion more right now as the regular stream thing. Which puts me, so it's just a different spot. Usually when I finish up an adventure game, the thing I'm rushing off to do is to find out the things that I missed and the answers to the nagging questions. But I think I want to leave some of them unanswered for myself. So I got to do that. However, what I would ask, if anybody knows, what's with all the different, I got 3 different 4-digit numbers. 5858. I got the one from the bathroom wall with the mummy in the shower. I got the one that turned out to be underneath the safe, if you zoom in. And I got the one from Dr. Fred's high score. But there are only 2 spots in the game where you punch in a 4-digit number, and I use the same one number from the wall. Is it just that they are redundant? Any of those numbers solves the puzzle? Or is there something more afoot? I know the other security door to get to on the second floor was copy protection. So when the copy protection is busted, like in this one, cracked open for you because they know you paid for it. When that's the case. Oh, Because for a good time, call Edna. Even though it also worked to open the security door. Odd. But okay, yes, I should have put that together because there's the telephone. That's what the telephone is for. Did I ever try to use the telephone? Do you actually type it in? Anyway. Okay, cool. So, all right, my closing thoughts. As usual, perhaps because, the whole format here is me saying my thoughts out loud as we do them. There's no real surprise here. I had a great time with Maniac Mansion, and I thought that some of the more notable things about it, I really appreciate the interface. I don't necessarily agree with sort of, Ron Gilbert's fame. I should have read that goddamn essay so we could discuss it. Reread his essay about how adventure games suck. But I will do so in the future, the not too far off future. Maybe I'll do it for the next time we do a LucasArts game. We can talk about it then. Not as appropriate as if I'd done it now. But I know that he absolutely British. I still remember you when I was doing my first ever long play of Ultima 5 early on, when like the audience was basically just you, and then eventually Stimpinski sometimes showed up, and then eventually Waffle Syrup showed up, then eventually it started snowballing till we have a pretty solid regular audience, even if it's not necessarily a super big stream audience. I still remember you once. I was expounding on the thematic significance of the virtues and how it was being woven into the game. And then you said something like, and also, it's fun, right? The point is to have fun. I was like, yes, that is true. And it's always, I think, important. It's good to keep that in mind. I have great reverence for the art of video games, but these are also just toys for us to have fun with. Not too distant future, for sure. If we're talking about next LucasArts game, that'll be very soon. I might do a point-and-click adventure game in between. The somewhat more recent Dreams in the Witch House, a Lovecraft point-and-click adventure game from a few years back. But then we're going to Monkey Island. Unless a movement gets going to say, no, do Loom next instead. But otherwise, it's going to be Monkey Island next. And So I know Ron Gilbert kind of, was not a fan in some ways. Like, not just I do things a little bit differently, but this is not good with the Roberta Williams style of the King's Quest games and the Sierra games. And while I don't necessarily share those feelings, I love the Sierra games I've played. I do think that the things he was trying to do, he had a fair bit of success pulling them off. I think he did a great job. Even though there are unwinnable states and there are a few gimmicky ways, not that I ever explored any of them, to get the kids killed. But generally it's as long as you're figuring things out, you generally usually have a way to get away. Like, for example, it took me until today to find out, but anytime you have two kids captured, you can get one of them out of the dungeon. So the capturing cannot doom you as much as it seemed like it did to me ever since the first time I played this game. I really like the interface, even though the streamlining of the verbs with the 12 verb list, and that apparently, they started with a larger list and pared down to those 12. We can easily get from those 12 to a smaller list, right? Turn on, turn off do not need to be separate. They don't even need to exist, I suppose. Couldn't we just say use switch and then it'll turn on or turn off as necessary? Same with unlock, because using a key on a door has the same effect as unlock key door with key, use key in door. I don't think open and close need to be separate. I think that's another toggle thing, but whatever. 12 things. The what is brilliant. Not only the fact that you can use it, move your cursor around, find out exactly what's interactable. There's still some pixel hunts, but they're pixel hunts that when I'm moving the what is cursor around the dungeon wall, that's Dave feeling the wall until there's a loose brick. And also the earlier thing that I discovered with the what is mechanically, that it simulates groping in the dark for a light switch. You can find that light switch even before the lights are on and then turn it on. And then even better, when I eventually figured out that you use the what is, and then you click on the thing, you see what the what is, and now you can go and change your verb. So it's mechanically very helpful. I love that. I love how well switching between them is integrated, both for the brief moments of real time, family members out of the room, this is our chance to rate it, but also just the basic things like press the brick, get someone out, or one person drains the pool, the other person goes in the pool, or getting into the basement in the first place. I think all that is really, really well integrated. They did a great job. I haven't even explored all the layers yet, but just of having the kids have different abilities and therefore be able to accomplish different things. There are definitely some red herrings in the game, which is fine. I don't think it's bad design to have red herrings. But there's also there are things that I think are red herrings ultimately. Like someone told me the chainsaw is a joke about a game where Zach McCracken needed a chainsaw and didn't have one or something, or something like that. But some of the red herrings feel like they could be part of the solution in a way that does, I think, contribute to making the puzzles trickier without making them unfair. I didn't think that any of the puzzles were unfair, even if some of them I very much bumbled into the solution. Unsealing that envelope. I did not. I was like, I should try to just microwave the envelope, see if we melt the glue. I don't think that works, though. I don't think that's how that would happen. But also, who knows? Maybe in this game it'll happen. No, but the fact that mechanically the game let me put it in there when it wouldn't let me put the manuscript, which I only tried to put in there by mistake. It signposted me and got me to what I think would have otherwise been the hardest puzzle for me. If it lets you put everything in there and it didn't give you the I need water, I need liquid, I think that I would have had trouble figuring that one out. It's occurring to me just now. Is one of the possible deaths for the kids if you use the radioactive pool water to do that task? Do you kill yourself with the radioactive gas? Anyway, very cool. I've talked about how the design approach they took, they apparently on paper mapped it out in index cards, a big flowchart on the wall and stuff, thoroughly for months before they started even programming. And likewise, they hadn't written anything. And the game itself keeps the text pretty minimal. There's some dialogue exchanges in the cutscenes. Otherwise, it's all pretty straight ahead. And yet, I felt like even with minimal text, it did a really good job of establishing the tone of Maniac Mansion and kind of what you should expect from this world. And also did a really good job of characterizing, including me massively overthinking the meteor police step 2. I figured out how to get the meteor police to arrest the meteor, and then spent an entire 2 hours looking for what the hell is going to get me past the Purple Tentacle. And then when I left and I started thinking about it, I was like, oh, you know what? The Purple Tentacle is such a tryhard. I bet with this dropped badge, we just show it and it respects authority. And that turned out to be true. But I don't think I needed to be doing that characterological analysis because as it turned out, the hint is supposed to be that the tentacle let the cop in. So obviously he'll let you in if you have the badge too. But anyway, it's just really great. I'm mystified as to how there's I guess, do the musicians just have a way to also deal with the meteor? Is it all just one thing? I guess kind of like Bernard's solution is just one thing to solve the two problems. Does getting a recording contract for the Green Tentacle, does he just go, I'll win the game for you. I'll go beat up the Purple Tentacle and kill the meteor? Probably not, but if there's a third way to deal with the meteor, I don't have the first idea what it might be. Is there ever any use? There's obviously on the other side of the room with the meteor, even though you never even really go there, there must be a secret passage out that leads into the garage where that stone tablet is. But does that ever come into anything? I don't know. So like I've beaten the game twice with totally different routes to victory and remain mystified in a way about what remains. And yet, because I want to keep moving, I think I will set Maniac Mansion aside. But yeah, really glad that I came back to this. And it won't be too far in the future, although I'll do a couple of other LucasArts series, LucasArts adventure games. It won't be too far in the future that I'm going to play Day of the Tentacle. Although when I play Day of the Tentacle, we will not. I'll try to figure out if it is a puzzle or if there's any Easter egg to it, or if it's not just given to you. I know you can play Maniac Mansion inside of Day of the Tentacle. Maybe at that time I'll be like, all right, it's time. Let's get Syd and Jeff, and just right now as a detour. That's a thought. Anyway, cool. I'm really glad that I finally played this game. It's the end of May. There's one frustrating thing here for me, which is that in the 4 months of the academic summer, May to August, May is still like fairly busy for me because I'm launching the May-June course and doing all the housekeeping from the winter. But I still hope to have laid more groundwork to start ramping up the streaming into my vacation. One nice thing is that the last 2 summers have been severely disrupted by a combination of 2 summers ago, my dear Astra passing away, and the last summer, her sister Abra passing away, and then also the year that Astra passed away, my partner Danielle badly injured her knee, and that really messed up my summer vacation, but also obviously messed up her summer. It was rough for the whole family. Pride Month. I'm excited for that. There's some things that I got to think about the extent to which I should discuss them. But the month itself is great, even if there are some things about the organization as it exists in our city and perhaps the way it treats some of the people I care the most about that I don't love. But anyway, still Pride Month. Oddly enough, I know our Pride activities in this city all happen in July. But I think that just means that, we get to be proud for 2 months while everyone else does theirs in June. It's been a long, long time since I did any drag streaming. Although it was not because I lost interest in drag. If anything, not if anything, it's definitely true that I've substantially leveled up my drag since the last time I appeared on the stream in drag. It's just a matter of closing the loop to getting my level up drag together quickly enough that it would be a worthwhile time investment to do a stream where you see me in a tiny little part of the screen. Because when I'm ready for that, we do have to go back to Sierra for Leisure Suit Larry. But I'm trying to do that with the drag character for fun. But I think that'll happen sometime fairly soon. Anyway, this may get disrupted for other reasons that are not, I see no reason to believe they will mess up the rest of the summer. So I think this is going to be the promised land summer where I finally launch my 30-minute retro review show where we just play different games for short periods of time, like a half hour perhaps, and talk about them. Because I really love doing long plays, but I also just love playing games in general. Be fun. So maybe I'll finally get that together in the next month so that when my vacation comes, I have time. I don't know. I got to think of, there's lots of stuff to think about, but I think it's going to be a fun summer, both in general in my life, but also I think we're going to have fun here at 58 Dream Street. And yeah, I have decisions to make. Like, do I still do I'll probably still do the Fran Drescher impression for the character when I'm doing the streams, but I have an ambition. I don't know if it'll work out, but I have an ambition to at least get some of my sisters from the House of Towers to do some kind of thing here. And I'm not going to do the Fran Drescher voice all the time or in public if they hand me the mic at a show. So it's what? Maybe I'll tone it down a little, but I do speak more flamboyantly when I'm in drag, of course, even when I'm in regular public drag. Yeah. So we got that to look forward to in the summer. I think we're gonna have some fun here together, gang, for sure. And I just intend, like, life begins at 41, baby. It's been a rough couple of years, just with random things messing up the summer, making it sadder. The summer before my beloved Astra passed away was the summer when my grandmother's cottage was sold away, so that I would never ever get to go there or do the thing I intended to do with my adult life, which was take care of it and restore it. But now, like, I found a new thing to care about, the drag thing, and I've launched it, and like the best is yet to come. I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be a fun summer, and onwards into the future. This is it. Like, I feel like this is life begins at 40, as they say. Feels good. Anyway, this is a lot of fun. Maniac Mansion at last. Where do we go from here? Well, maybe this week, like, no, I'm not ready to say it. Let's say that, don't at all think that maybe I can start to add some random extra streams, but I will do that at least once before the end of June, because this is just work-wise going to be a less stressful June. And, knock on wood, because nothing's promised to any of us, but the various horrible things that have happened to me and my family in terms of losing loved ones. My cousin also passed away last year. I don't see, it would be a bigger surprise. Like, my cats were old. My cousin had a difficult life. Not the life she deserved. And yeah, but like, no reason to think that it's just going to be okay. This is going to be a good summer. I'm excited. All right. So where are we going from here? Come Wednesday, Greg will come over, and we're getting close to the end of phase 3 of our beat 'em up project. We have to check out River City Saga, Three Kingdoms story, which we're going to. That's the Wednesday game. We have to check out a couple other River City games from before. So there's no sensible order to how we've done phase 3, but we got to go back and check out the Game Boy Advance one, and maybe if I can get emulation working, the DS one. And then I think, although maybe we'll see you later. I don't know if you're still here, but hopefully if you're here on Wednesday sometime soon, you might be able to think of an example I'm missing of a well-known beat 'em up series having new entries in the 21st century. But we're almost done with that. And River City Saga will be what we do with it on Wednesday. On Friday, not Friday, but as far as we know, it's all going to come together to do Friday Night Frosthaven on Thursday with 4 players. And those 4 players, myself, Rich, Greg, and Sid, are in the middle of a scenario, the Dead Past scenario. And it's going well. We're having fun. And I think we're going to keep on having fun, which is the goal here. Then, like I said, it looks like I have planned hiatus next weekend that will definitely kill my Saturday if it happens. No chance to stream on Saturday, and unlikely to stream on Sunday if the plans go ahead, which I feel guilty for kind of hoping they don't, because the plans themselves I will enjoy. It's been a disruptive May, and I would just like to have a weekend that was normal, but might not happen next weekend. That's okay. So maybe nothing next weekend, or maybe everything's normal. If it is the canceled weekend, if I get home with any energy at all on Sunday, I'll at least do something next Sunday, or maybe we have to wait till the weekend after that to get back to Earthbound and to move on to a new adventure game. Whew. Okay. I hope you're taking all this down so you can put it in your day planner. All right. That's it. That's all. That's all there is. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came to me left, you can't hear my voice, but I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, which will be at some point, not exactly sure when, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.